I would have given, I remember this was the show to be at. What? A 12-year-old girl, front row with her dad at the 1989 tour, wants to see Julia Roberts walk the catwalk during Style.
In jeans and a t-shirt. For what?
It's the jeans and the t-shirt. I'm silent. Like, I'm so quiet. That was a choice that she made, and we all had to live with it.
Welcome back to Evolution of a Snake. I'm Zach.
And I am Madeline.
And I have no idea when you're listening to this, but it's very possible that you can still get tickets to see Evolution of a Snake live. Evolutionofasnake.com. Go get your Snares tour tickets for $15. You can catch us live in LA from anywhere in the world. Yes, that's right. It's being live streamed, and you can watch it on demand on Dynasty TV afterwards, only through that link. So make sure to come see us. And we're Broken Soldiers. We've been recording a lot for you. We've been recording so that we don't miss a beat while we're on our global tour.
Global. It's very global.
It is global. It is
Technically it is.
It is global. It's intergalactic almost.
It is.
And you're going to be excited to see it. But today we're taking a little trip down memory lane. It is an extra special episode edition of Tay Rewind, where we are going to be reviewing and revisiting the guests of the 1989 tour, of which there were about 450.
Yeah, when I was going through and doing the list, I was really disgusted. I was like, I was annoyed. I was like, why are there so many? Why are there so many?
The worst version of a surprise song. Like, this is surprise song in upside down Coraline world, where like everybody has button eyes and everything's scary. That's what this is. Like, would you rather have two Taylor Swift songs from the discography that maybe you haven't heard in years? Or would you rather have Lily Aldridge and Gigi Hadid strut down the catwalk?
You can't have both ways. You have to take the Lily Aldridge and the Martha Hunts along with the divas. You really do.
Sad case, Martha Hunt, by the way. I was reading about her recently. She is an alcoholic. She lost custody of her kids. She lost her house. She's not doing good.
I didn't know this. I'm silent. And she was on the 1989 tour stage like thrice.
You see how that works?
She was up there 3 times. You see how that works?
Sometimes tape protection can't get you, and other forms of voodoo in the world can come and get you right where you don't want to be got. Yeah. So we pray for Martha Hunt, but as we pray for Martha Hunt, we would also like to remind everybody of a prehistoric Taylor Swift meme that I think this is one of the funniest like Taylor memes. And it was at a time when Taylor really couldn't laugh at herself. Like, I wonder if now she would have thought it was funny and responded to it. But this was a video that went viral. It's called Please Welcome to the Stage. It is by Laura Marie Shainholz, who is the host of a podcast that I love, Sexy Unique Podcast. Madeline has heard me talk about that podcast more times than you know. And she essentially went to the 1989 tour in LA and thought that it was ridiculous that Taylor was so effusively and excitedly welcoming the randomest people to the stage. Because it always started with, please welcome to the stage, insert crazy name you weren't expecting to hear. And she got her.
Yeah, that was a clock, especially rewatching some of the videos. The way that she would introduce some of these people really put me in my tomb. She would be, walking around slowly as the band plays like a thrilling, suspenseful tune behind her.
Jason Derulo.
She's going, this artist comes from across the pond. Long pause. This artist won Song of the Year at the 1989 Grammys. Long pause. This artist is one of my best friends. Please welcome to the stage, Beck. And it's like...
And then you immediately are put into a place, and she's always like, what do you think about that, LA? Or wherever they are. And it's much worse when they're not musical guests, because she strands them, she maroons them. She walks to the end of the catwalk and introduces them, and they have to make their long way down that big old catwalk. And when she's inviting the models out, they know what to do. When she's inviting out Matt LeBlanc and Chris Rock, they don't know what's going on. They don't know how long it is. They don't know how long it is. They don't understand. Their little legs cannot keep up with the gazelle.
No. And it's shocking.
And they look like clowns when they arrive next to her.
No, I remember
because
when this was
they're in
happening.
Civilian clothes. I feel like a lot of this was like they would come to the pre-show meet and greet, and Taylor would randomly, towards the end, she would randomly be like, come on stage. during style. Just come on stage. And they say, yeah. So you see them in their civilian clothes with their lanyards around their necks. And Taylor is the gorgeous Barbie diva. And they basically don't have any makeup on.
Yeah, they're literally just Chris Rock and Matt LeBlanc and Julia Roberts and Joan Baez.
And at the time, you have to understand that her audience was even younger then than it is now. Like the people that were attending the 1989 tour, they weren't asking for Chris Rock at the 1989 tour. They were cheering for Haley Steinfeld. Yes, they were.
No.
But they weren't making noise for Bryan Adams.
No. There was a particular the Keith Urban one. I watched that video because I'd never heard the song before and it sounded crazy. So I was like, let me see this. And the way Toronto, Canada, please welcome to the stage Keith
Keith
Urban.
Urban.
Cricket,
A
cricket,
B-tier
cricket.
country artist from Australia.
And you know what's really demented is the number of nights Taylor wouldn't just have one guest.
Oh,
There's some
multiple.
nights where she had like 10
Musical
people
guest,
up on that
4 people for
stage.
style.
Yeah. What's wrong
And
with her?
sometimes she'd break up the set. She'd put a completely new number in to
Well, what
accommodate
really,
people.
really bothered me is that it's not just like, oh, welcome to the stage, this amazing artist that everybody knows. It was, please welcome to the stage this random person who happens to have a top 40 hit on the radio right now. There's
Yeah.
so many people on this list who you don't know. And if you think you know them, no, you don't. Do you
This is
guys
a phone
remember
a
that
friend.
song, I'm her cheerleader, or she's my
Oh,
cheerleader?
I think that I
Yeah,
found OMI,
that's
isn't
on
that his
here.
name?
And that other one that's like, it was like a popular, like, dubstep song that was like, oh my, I can't even remember how it goes.
This is where
Exactly.
the Taylor Swift is fake, Taylor Swift clout chaser stuff really started, because I think at first people were like, "Oh, you know, when Karlie Kloss is coming out on the stage, she's besties with Taylor, she's a relevant person." People are like, "Okay, she's strutting down the catwalk to style. That makes sense." When it gets to Julia Roberts, everyone's kind of like, "Well, who asked for this? Why?"
And who wants to see what 12-year-old girl front row with her dad at the 1989 tour wants to see Julia Roberts walk the catwalk during Style?
In jeans and a t-shirt. Like, for
It's
what?
the jeans and the t-shirt. For
It's
what?
mean. Taylor, it was mean. She was honestly putting everyone to shame. Now, there were times when we clapped and we cheered, and we'll get into that. There are some iconic guests on the 1989 tour. But I thought, in the spirit of Please Welcome to the Stage, I could come up with the 2025 edition of that. Like, who would be the most absurd people she could bring out? So we already said, Please Welcome to the Stage, Hawk Tuah.
Yes.
100% would have been a
Yep.
guest.
Mhm.
She would have been selling her crypto coin live on that stage every single night. I think please welcome to the stage the designer who didn't put Rosa Parks on Lisa's panties at the Met Gala.
Please welcome to the
Because it would
stage
be random people too. Like
the
she'd have to
designer
explain who
whose
it
art
was.
was misunderstood at the Met Gala.
Please welcome to the stage the Menendez brothers.
Yay! They're
Please welcome
free!
to the stage Kamala Harris and Madonna. It
Oh,
was the
absolutely.
pairing
Yep,
of
yeah, no,
people
both of them at
sometimes that
once.
would just
Mhm,
absolutely kill me.
mhm.
And finally, please welcome to stage Ruby Frankie's Innocent Children.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
watch the original video if you haven't seen it. I think the ashes of the victims of the Salem witch trials was my favorite one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or the hologram of Maya Angelou. That was a good one too.
The hologram of Maya
Taylor would have
Angelou.
died to have had the hologram of Maya Angelou at the
Oh, she
1989 tour.
absolutely
Oh, she would
would've.
have
Oh, yeah.
gagged
And
for that.
remember when they were doing a hologram of Tupac? Oh, she would have had that on stage. The
ABBA
hologram of Tupac.
Voyage on the
Mhm.
1989 tour. Oh, you better believe.
You better believe it. Yeah.
What do you think about that, LA? Dancing Queens?
And they came all the way here just to be with you tonight.
And they're kind of making me say, Mamma Mia. That's the sauce.
It was really when I was watching the videos, I was like, "I don't think I know her. That doesn't
Who is that?
that's
And she did it a
not."
little bit on Rep, but every Rep guest was like a musical artist that was also her friend.
Right.
So that made sense.
It was like it just felt like she was basking in the fact that she could get all these people to come to her concerts
That was the
and, like,
thing.
go
That's what
on
it
stage.
was.
That's what
It
she
was like a
liked.
power play. She loved to pick up the phone and say, "I'm gonna send my jet," because this is what happened. She would send her plane to collect these people, and she wasn't just having them come to LA, she was having them fly she was having, like, Charlie XCX come to Minnesota. We wanna talk about jet emissions? Let's talk about the
Yeah, let's
1989 tour
talk about
guests.
Charlie XCX going to Toronto, Canada for the 1989 tour to play Boom Clap.
From England. Why? For what?
For
Well, let's
what?
get into it, Madeline. Take us through. Take us through.
All right, so the very first special guest on the 1989 tour, this just makes sense. May 15th in Las Vegas, Ed Sheeran. Yes. Now this was a time where when Ed Sheeran was coming
Oh,
out
we
on
were
stage for
hand-hearting.
Taylor, I was like, Ed Sheeran! Because remember, this is just right after the Red Tour, right after he was her
Mhm.
opener on the Red Tour, and they were hanging out all the time. So I loved this. They played Tenerife Sea, which is hilarious because
Deep
everybody
lore
thought that
for
they,
Tumblr people. We
yeah.
all thought that was about Taylor, and she clowned us.
And she clowned us and she played it. I don't remember what we thought at the time that this was happening. I don't think I was ever a Tenerife Sea Tin Hatter thinking that it
Oh,
was
I
about
was.
Taylor.
Swearing.
But
I was into it.
I wonder if people thought that because they played it together, they were like soft launching this being about Taylor.
"You look so wonderful in your dress. I love your hair like that." And Taylor's like, "Yes, best song ever."
Yes! This is kind of like during a time before the 1989 guests were anything. This
Mhm.
was just Ed Sheeran showing up to play Tenerife Sea. I cheered.
And
I
wasn't
cheered
she
my
in
little
her
heart
all you
out.
had to do was stay outfit too? She was in her little two-piece with the black boots. She
So
that
the
that outfit out of context is crazy.
Especially standing next to some of these people.
Ed Sheeran, most of
Yeah,
all.
especially standing next to Ed Sheeran. I always, always, always hated that outfit. I found it unflattering.
It's a weird, weird outfit. I've kind of been, I think, Stockholm syndromed into just thinking that it's normal, but it when you just think about it as an outfit, how it works, the thing that always throws me is the string that connects the bottom of the shorts to the boot. That
The
always I'm
garter
always like,
belts. Yeah,
"Why?
the garters.
Why? For what?"
Nonetheless, Ed Sheeran, thank you so much for coming to the stage.
Please welcome
Up
to the stage.
next, May 30th in Detroit, the guy from Imagine Dragons, and they play Radioactive. To be fair, this is 2015. Radioactive, that was one of the biggest songs for like 4 years. Radioactive was like you were
Mhm.
hearing it at Applebee's, you're hearing it in the grocery
At the
store.
airport.
Yep. So, sure. Why not?
Why the hell not? Usually when it's a musical guest, I'm more likely to be like, "Okay, because 'cause they're singing at a concert. That makes sense. This is what we
Makes
do at
sense to me?
concerts. We don't strut. It's not a fashion show." She didn't know
Nope.
that.
Then on June 6th in Pittsburgh, we have Little Big Town,
Madeline's
and they
favorite
did
band.
Pontoon. I hate, hate, hate that song. Motorboatin'. I
Would
hate
you
it.
ra
I
would you
hate it.
rather have had them do that or Girl Crush?
Girl Crush.
I thought you
Pontoon
didn't
is
like that
literally the
song.
worst song ever made.
I don't think I've ever heard it before.
Pontoon. This is the thing that I hate. There's like this brand of country music that's just like about having a day off that drives me
You're
crazy.
literally you're describing Florida Georgia Line's entire bag.
Well, yeah, baby, you song me, you make me want to roll my windows down and cruise.
We let
But
that
this
one.
one is
I like that one.
particularly egregious because it's about just getting on a boat and having a beer. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. And it
Just
makes me
do it. Don't
mad.
sing about it.
And
Don't
everybody
narrate
loves
it.
it because you know what? When you're on the pontoon, I bet this goes crazy.
Mhm.
But when you're on the 1999 World Tour and Taylor's in her little two-piece and her garter belts, it just don't make no sense,
No.
love. It just
Mm-mm.
don't. So yeah,
And
I hated that one.
usually the performances would come out during all you had to do was stay this or like that period of time of the set. And then the special guest would come out at Style, which was much more towards the end of the show. So you would kind of have the opportunity to have two moments of surprise.
Well, the you wanna know the really messed up part? As we get deeper into it, she was pulling these people out at random times. She brought John Legend comes out during Wildest Dreams.
Yep. And you know what? That dress that she wears, the tutu thing, it doesn't look good standing up. It looks good sitting down. It looks ridiculous when she's
And
standing
that's
up.
why she only did it once.
It
That's
comes
why
up
she
to her
only did it
boobs,
once.
basically. It's like breast, tutu. But I
So, Little
digress.
Big Town, you get nothing from me. Thank you so much. On June 12th, we go to Philadelphia, and the girl from Echo Smith shows up, and they do Cool Kids together. And I thought it
Sure.
was ironic that we're playing, I wish that I could be like the Cool Kids. And meanwhile, it's Please Welcome to the Stage My 10 Million Friends every night.
There is a poetic irony in there.
And you want to know the really messed up thing? She did this twice. Echo Smith comes twice on the
Why?
1989 tour. I don't
To do
know.
the same song?
To do Cool Kids.
Damn, she really was into it. She was
She
really
really
into
was
it.
into it. This blew my mind.
She
This
probably
time,
ran
to
out of
be
space,
fair,
and she knew she was free. She knew she
this
was
time, to
free.
be fair, it was just the girl from Echo Smith. The second time, it's the whole band.
I always felt bad for bands when they had to come out on stage because, like, really Taylor's only interacting with the singer.
I think it should be that way anyway. Like, it should only be the guy from Imagine Dragons, not Imagine Dragons.
No, no, no,
No, no, no,
no.
no, no. So up next on June 13th, guess who it is? This is my fight song.
song.
Take back my
You know what?
life song.
I would have clapped and screamed and
Oh,
cheered
yeah,
for
at the
this
time?
in 2015.
Oh,
Well, Taylor had put us
absolutely.
on. She had put us on to this song in a major way. She forced us to like it. She had worn the This Is My Fight Song shirt. And you know what? Like a small boat. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
On
And she
the
sat on the bench. They
ocean,
sat on the bench. They brought out the
setting big
1989 New
waves.
Romantics bench and sat on it. It was ridiculous. And Taylor
Well,
can't sing that song. So it's interesting to watch her try.
she gave it her entire 1989 essay. She really did. She was out there acting like this was her song, which is how she treats all of this stuff, by the way.
Uh-huh.
That's how she treated all of it. This is an
It's
essential part of the canon.
hilarious.
I would have been
Mhm.
cheering too, I'll be honest with you, because it's part of the lore.
This
It's
is my
part of
fight
the
song.
lore. Then on July 10th in New York City, The Weekend. Can't Feel My Face. Now, this is kind of a coup. This is kind of a diva up moment. Like, this is not some random person. This is The Weekend. So I would have been, if that was me.
There was some also this was like his peak
Mhm.
Tumblr cool guy. Like he was the at this period of time and he was just starting to like really pop off. I think that there was some do you remember there was controversy about this appearance because towards the end Taylor like pats him on the head and then everybody tried to make that into a Taylor Swift is racist thing for like
I don't
petting his
remember this.
hair. Yeah, that was a
Well,
thing. It
what
was
did The
a that
Weekend
was
have to
a
say about this? Nothing, because
nothing.
he didn't care?
Nothing.
Okay, well,
No.
there you go. Well,
This
there
these
you
were the
go.
same people that were saying Taylor Swift Nazi Barbie. Same.
And there was a case to be made. But this
When you
isn't
get
one of the
into some of these
instances.
guest parades, there's a case to be
Yeah.
made, but not
But
today.
not this was a coup. I would have loved to have been there at MetLife, yes, clapping and cheering for The Weekend. What can I say? And then on July 11th in New York City, we get a stark, hard pivot and we get Nick Jonas and they do Jealous together. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I could sing you a bar from Jealous.
Oh, I could. I turn my chin music up and I'm puffing. You don't know this song?
No! Mm-mm,
It was
I know, you know
big.
what
He
song I
had
know?
one song and this was
'Cause
the song.
space is just a word invented by someone who's too afraid to get
What the
close. You
hell
know
are you
that song?
singing?
That
What the
song
hell
he
is
did with
that?
Tovlo. The song he did with Tovlo. That's the song I know.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know
I've
this.
never heard that before. This one,
Yeah.
Taylor also, it's funny. I love it when she is next to a man with an extreme height difference. It pleases me.
Oh, it makes me laugh. Bruno Mars, I still think about that.
There were so many instances where she was a giraffe woman on the
Oh,
1989
yeah.
tour.
Oh, yeah, especially because she had those huge shoes on. She's clomping around, and then
And
there's
it's
Nick
so
Jonas.
funny because the 1989 strut is such a specific strut that she's never returned back to. And it looks really amazing when it's just her doing it. But when you see her doing it next to someone walking normally, it's like,
Uh-oh.
it's the doll's broken. You've got to send it in
So,
for repair.
you know what I was thinking? I can't remember where Taylor stood with Joe Jonas at this particular time. Was this a big deal because of Jonas and Taylor friendly relations? I literally don't remember.
We had just had her forgiving Joe Jonas on the record because he was dating Gigi Hadid, I want to say at the time, and they
Uh,
hung out in London. Remember, there was a photo of them on the boat with Calvin Harris, and everyone was like, war is over. So I think it was like a tail end of that, yes.
I always forget that he dated Gigi Hadid. Gigi Hadid has had, like, 10
Mhm.
lives.
She has had 10
She
lives, and
has.
she's seen all of Taylor's lives too, most
She
of them.
she has.
We
Okay,
need to
so Nick
know.
Jonas, we didn't cheer. July 13th in
Mm-mm.
Washington, D.C., we started cheering.
Yeah.
Lorde came out and did Royals,
She
and
took it
she
to Capitol
looks
Hill. She took it to Capitol Hill.
amazing. She's wearing this, like,
Mhm.
strapless black dress, classic, 2010s Lorde, her big hair, and the dress has this huge, like, sort of, like, gem-encrusted collar that's, like, perfect because they do Royals, and she looks amazing. I was like, "Ah!" I would have been going
This was a
crazy.
Boots moment. This really was a Boots moment, and this was when, Lord and Taylor's Cold War had ended, and they were besties, and we love to see it. Taylor was doing backup on this, and that was an interesting
She
thing for
was
her to do.
going in Royals, in the chorus, there's, like, the backup singers, and they go, "Ruler,
That's what Taylor's doing.
Royals." That's what Taylor was doing. I was like, "Oh my god. I can't watch
She
this."
next to Lord, sometimes like, if you put Taylor next to the wrong person, she looks like a fucking dork, and next to Lord, she kinda looks like a
She
dork.
kinda looked like a dork, especially because Lorde is, like, rolling up. Her 2015-esque style was very, like,
She's doing her
dark.
freaky deaky stuff.
She
She's
was doing her
twitching and
freaky dark
convulsing.
lipstick, huge dark hair, her black dress, and her her big gems on her neck, and then there's Taylor in her garters. It's
They couldn't have
shocking,
been
like,
more
out of
different at that
context.
time. Yeah, at that time, like, they were polar opposites, and, I mean, we love the contrast.
We do. And then on July 14th in Washington, D.C., Jason
He is always
Derulo.
so sweaty. Have you noticed that? He's always just wet on stage. He takes his shirt off, and he's just
Oh,
covered. And I have to say, if I was next to him, I would be like,
what's going on, sister?
"Chill. You don't need to
And
do all that. You're the
they don't
guest."
even they don't even do a good song.
What
They
is
do
"Want to
"Want to
Want
Want
Me"?
Me." I don't know that song.
This
Where's
was when
"Talk Dirty
Taylor
to
was
Me"?
still kind of censoring herself, I guess. Like, she was not really swearing at this point, so I guess she was, like, still doing family-friendly stuff, but you can't bring Jason Derulo out and do family-friendly. Nobody wants that.
I don't want it. I wanna see Jason Derulo with his shirt off. Personally, I don't
In
know what
my
everybody
head,
else is
I
doing.
would have liked to have seen that too.
I would have liked to have seen that. So Jason Derulo came. Again, we're still in the "this is fairly normal"
They're pop
stage of, like,
stars,
the yeah, these are
singers,
stars,
sure.
these are stars. And then on July 18th in Chicago, we get Andy Grammer with one of the worst songs ever made. "Nah,
I don't even
nah,
know who
honey, I'm
that
good. I am another." I hate,
is.
hate, 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 hate this song. Hate this song.
I don't
I
even know
hate
who
so
he
much.
is. I
I
saw a photo
uncovered
of him
this
and I
about
was like,
myself.
"Who is that?"
I uncovered this about myself. I despise so much of mainstream 2010s pop. I don't know what it is. There was something in the water. I didn't like it. Most of it.
A lot of it
And
is
this
very
is
AI, actually. A lot of it is very like, "Let me take this formula and copy paste it."
and that's what he did. And I think he's a hack. I don't know anything else he's ever done, but I know he did this and he has to pay.
And Taylor decided to celebrate him. For what reason, we'll never understand.
On July 19th in Chicago, Sam Hunt, Take Your Time. Don't know,
Enough
don't
with the
care.
country no ones. Enough with that. She did that on the Red Tour a lot. Hunter Hayes coming out to sing Wanted. To be fair, I love that
Well,
song.
at least it's a
I
song
love that
people
song.
know.
I love that
At
song.
least it's a song people know. What is this Sam Hunt Take Your Time? I don't know that song.
We didn't ask.
We didn't ask. And then the Diva was back on July 24th in Boston. The guy from Walk the Moon came and they did Shut Up and Dance.
We needed that. And
We
he wore
needed
the
that.
jacket. He wore the jacket with
Yep.
her.
Mhm.
That honestly, this was a moment where I remember so clearly, like on Tumblr, we were all like, yes, Walk the Moon at this point, they were everything to me. Anna Sun.
Well, I have to tell you the truth. I always hated Walk the Moon. I hated this song too. But randomly, like 2 years after it got popular, I was like, this is a pretty good song. So now I don't anymore.
This is a
That's so
song when it comes
funny.
on at a wedding, you're like up on your feet. You're like,
Oh
yep,
yeah.
it's time.
Well, I also think that it was so perfect for 1989. Like it was very 1989 coded this song, and
It's
I thought
80s
that it
vibes.
had the energy. Everybody was jumping up and down. This was a moment where I was like, I could have been there, and I could have had the time of my life, but instead,
So far,
was I?
we've had 3 instances, 4 instances where we've said, "Yes, I would have liked to have been there."
And where this is just the tip of the iceberg.
And sometimes she was cutting all you had to do was stay to have these guests, okay? And let me tell you, if you
Oh, I
cut
didn't
all
know
you had to
that.
do was stay to have Sam Hunt, I would have freaked.
This is why, there's something about I didn't get a special guest because, as everybody knows, I was in Fargo, North Dakota. So I was always like, "Oh, it's a bummer," but I got the show as God intended it to be. So
Front
maybe
to
there's something
back.
to that.
Be
Maybe there's
grateful.
something
You
to
could have
that.
had Uzo Adoba singing White Horse at you, and you didn't have that.
And we didn't even get there yet, baby. Oh, it's just the start. It's just the start. So on July 25th in Boston, MKTO comes out. Do you know who that
Who
is?
the is that?
And they do a
No.
little song called Classic.
How does
This is
that
so
song
funny
go?
because I looked it up yesterday and now I can't remember it.
So it wasn't very
She's my
memorable.
classic. Genuinely, I couldn't tell you the name of it. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know it. I
Well,
don't know it. This is what I'm
well,
talking about. Randoms, randoms, randoms.
mhm.
And then this is the song I was talking about. August 1st in Vancouver, Nico and Vince. Am I wrong to think that this could be something for real? Do you know that
Oh my
song?
god, you just unlocked something that hasn't been, like,
Right?
unlocked in my brain for so long.
Right? So she brought them out. Uh any
We didn't
comments or
ask.
concerns?
We
We didn't
didn't
ask.
ask.
She was bringing out the top 40 one-hit wonders,
She was
of
literally looking
which
at the Hot 100 and saying, "Tree, we got new entry
Tree?
number 39. Give him a call. Give him a call. We couldn't get Justin Timberlake. We still can't get him. Let's
So
call."
let's bring in these random people. Yes. So there we go. Then on August 8th, this was probably the first one where I was like, what? She brought out Fetty Wap and they did Trap Queen together.
She would never do that today. She would never try this.
No, no, no,
The
no.
thing is that Taylor always insists on singing the song that she's performing, as she should with her guests. Taylor, no one wants to hear you sing Trap Queen. No one. Not a single person in that room on this planet wanted to hear you sing Trap Queen. They didn't even want to hear it at your show.
Although I do love Trap Queen, I will say it's one of those
Oh,
songs
great
that it
song, but
comes
not for
on
Taylor.
and I clap and I clap and I cheer. It's evergreen. It really is. But
Mhm.
yeah, this was the start of we're just doing anything. We're just doing absolutely anything. Um Incredible.
I would have passed away to have been in attendance at the following 2 shows. This was, like, for me.
So on August 14th in Santa Clara, Fifth Harmony shows up. Now this in my opinion is one of the worst ones because they give her the outfit and she does the dance and she looks like a clown.
Ridiculous.
She
You know what?
looks
It would have been
ridiculous.
better if she wasn't in the outfit. And also, Taylor, you know yourself. You know you can't learn choreography in one day. You know you can't. You know that you can't. And Fifth Harmony weren't just doing like little beepity beepity boop. It was like they were a girl group, so they were kind of dancing. And she was so proud of herself for squeezing into that small costume. She made it very she was like, I got into this teeny tiny." We were like, "Okay, okay, we understand
Okay,
what's
thanks
going on
Taylor.
here.
Thanks
We get
Taylor.
it. Thank you." But this is also what's so funny to me about this. This is when she was actively meddling in Fifth Harmony's business dealings. This is when she was in Camila's ear going, "Go solo, go solo, go solo, go solo." So you can see like her interactions with all the other girls on the stage are not it doesn't seem egalitarian.
Well, there you go. I
And
honestly I
then
can't.
then she had to do the acoustic set in the outfit, remember? She had to do clean in that stupid getup. She had to do clean and You Are in Love and Love Story in that attire.
I'm silent. Like, I'm so quiet. That was a choice that she made, and we all had to
Mhm.
live with it. And we all had to live with it. So then, I mean, Diva Up, August 15th, Santa Clara. Then she brought
To
out
the
Little
moon,
Mix.
to the moon, to do the
This is
greatest pop song of 2015.
back to back girl group support. Now, this was Gatekeep Gaslight Girl Boss. This really
Mhm,
was.
mhm.
This is the definition of Gatekeep Gaslight Girl
Yep.
Boss. I'm
This
gonna
this
bring
was
out the two
2015
biggest girl
feminism.
bands. Oh, yeah. And they do Black Magic, and it's amazing. Incredible.
It ac
Never
the
been done
performance is
before.
actually really good. Like, this is a
Yeah.
song that Taylor can sing, she's in her element. The
And they
Little
didn't
Mix
give her
girls
an
are a
outfit.
lot more they didn't give her an outfit, and the Little Mix girls actually like each other, so you can tell they're enjoying being on stage together versus Fifth Harmony, it's like Survivor every time they get on stage.
So yeah, this was kind of a coup. Santa Clara was
Oh, the
the
coup.
girl band summit
The
of the 1989 tour.
coup.
I cheered. I
West
haven't
Coast was
stopped
kind of a
cheering.
coup, actually.
Yeah, because this was like a thing back then. On the Eras tour, this kind of like dismantled itself because she was doing anything anywhere. But it used to be like if you go to LA or you go to MetLife, you get
You're
things
getting
good things
you're
happen to
getting
you.
something special.
And in LA, she went crazy. So on the first night in LA, okay, wait, I mixed them up. So August 21st is Ryan Tedder, and he does Counting Stars. Okay. I mean,
Honestly,
he's a
kind of a coup.
collaborator.
I like that
He's a
song.
kind of a coup. We'll be counting
Da,
stars. This
da,
is
da. And also
another.
Taylor strutting, like that's the kind of song Taylor loves.
And then on August 22nd, we get Mary J. Blige, and she does Doubt.
Oh,
So this one on LA, multiple things occurred, and one of the first things that occurred was Mary J. Blige doing Doubt with Taylor Swift. We have an
probably the
HQ of
best one.
this. We have
Probably
an
the best
HQ of this
performance.
because Mary J. Blige, like, she was making a documentary or something like that at the time. I'm actually not sure what it is, but on her YouTube channel, there's a video, and the video starts with her playing the song acoustically, like in the studio, and she cries and she talks about like how powerful she thinks the song is and how proud she is that she gets to share it with so many little girls. And it
It's a great
immediately cuts
song.
to her doing it at the 1989 tour with Taylor. And I was like, ah! It's like, this
Hand
is
heart.
feminism.
Well, Mary J. Blige is first and foremost so kind and generous for allowing Taylor to sing by herself before she got out there and ate her up. That was really nice
Yep.
of her to let Taylor have her moment.
Yep.
And Taylor practiced. Taylor, you could tell she practiced
She
that.
did.
She had her runs on lock. Taylor sounds great. She looks gorgeous. And you know what's really interesting about this song? Like in hindsight, we can see the lyrical content of Doubt is very applicable to what was going on inside the noggin at that period of time. She was thinking, when's it going to end? When is this going to end? This can't be forever. It can't be. I don't really believe in myself like that, but I have to go and be the diva on the stage every night. So when we look at some of her song choices, Cool Kids, Doubt, they say something to us.
They say something to us. We didn't know that at the time. But of
The
course now
empty lunch
hindsight
tables of
2020.
your past, they never
Yep.
go away.
Hindsight 2020. They also did Family Affair, which was kind of the diva up.
Queendom.
Diva
Queendom.
up. So
But Doubt
then
is a good
on
song. Good song.
Doubt, and this is one of the most iconic performances on the 1989 tour. Probably because we have an HQ, to be fair, but it's also iconic. And then on the same evening, we get Uzo Aduba, and she comes out. Now, she doesn't just come out and strut the catwalk. She sits down with Taylor on the acoustic guitar, and they sing White Horse together. Now, there is something about this that is so fundamentally bizarre, but if I had been there, because White Horse was not getting played on the 1989 tour, so this is kind of a
No,
coup.
that's why we were gagged, and then first of all, we were gagged by White Horse being performed, and then we saw what was happening, and we were like, "Why?" It wasn't like Uzo Aduba is like noted famous singer as well as actress. Like I didn't even know she had a note in her head, and she can sing, she can carry a tune. But I was like, "Why? Why?"
She looks amazing. She's in a red one piece. Maybe it was just she just said I love White Horse. She's like I love
And
White Horse.
Taylor
It's my
said, "I feel
favorite
like
song.
playing it."
I bet you $1,000,000 that's exactly what happened. She was like, Taylor, my favorite song is White Horse. And Taylor said, you know what? My fans absolutely love that song. Let's play it, Uzo. And she
And
was
they
like,
love
okay.
Orange Is the New Black. It's like the best show on TV right now, and you are the star.
Oh, please, 1989 Taylor.
She was
She
someone else. I
wasn't
love her.
real.
I love
She
her.
was
She's an
not
AI.
real. Okay, so that is a great night in LA. Two beautiful queens took the
Thank
stage
you.
and we were cheering. And then we go to August 24th in LA, where again, multiple things happen. Natalie Maines of the Chicks comes out and they do Goodbye Earl, and it slays my pants
Girls,
off. It is
what I wouldn't
so
give,
good.
what I
Goodbye
wouldn't
Earl.
give to be
It
there.
to me about Goodbye Earl is that song could have been made yesterday and I'd believe you. It is evergreen.
And
We
it's
need
the
it more.
best chick song that was most applicable to like 1989 Taylor's vibe. However, I have to say there is part of me that really would have loved to have seen Cowboy Take Me Away.
Oh, that would have been great
Would have
too.
been so
Cowboy,
cute.
take
Take
me
me in
away. Or
Nashville?
Wide
Come
Open
on
Spaces.
now.
Come
Wide
on
Open Spaces
now.
would have just sent me into despair. So we can't be doing that. We can't be doing that.
Okay. So that happens, and then on the same night, Alanis Morissette, You Oughta Know. Now hold
Diva
on.
up.
This is kind of a
Diva
diva
up.
summit.
Mhm.
But this is a moment, so when she's rocking out, and you'll see this when she brings out the guys from Aerosmith, when she brings out Mick Jagger, she does it during the "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together" rock out set. So she's in that leather pleather jumpsuit, and she thinks she's Joan Jett. That's how
And she
she
is.
behaves on
She
stage.
behaves the way she behaves in the "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together" performance from the 1989 tour, and if you think that that's a serious, like, dead serious slay, then this is for you. This is all
This
for
is for
you.
you because that's who she thought that she was. And I noted when I was watching it, she's kind of doing like an Alanis Morissette impression as she's singing it. But in her defense, I think it's really hard not to.
Olivia fell into that trap also when she sang it. The only person I think that could go toe to toe with Alanis and kind of make it her own would be Avril. Avril could
Oh
do
yeah,
her
let
own thing with "You
open the
Oughta
case.
Know."
Open the
Mhm.
case. Why hasn't
Bring
that
that
happened
out.
yet? Open the case.
I do wonder also, for the 15-year-olds in the crowd, how many of them were knowing Natalie Maines and Alanis Morissette?
Yeah, I'm sure many of them were thinking like, "This is what we get in LA? Who
Keep
are these
quiet.
people?" Well, just wait.
Give it a
You'll
couple
get your
years.
diva.
You'll
Just
look
wait.
back fondly.
Yeah. So then on the 25th, this is the one that killed me.
Diva up, diva
Beck
down. Diva
and St.
down.
Vincent. Now, the crowd had no reaction to this. And it's not because Beck and St. Vincent aren't famous, incredible artists. It's because the Venn diagram of people interested in Beck and St. Vincent and then Taylor Swift is not, it doesn't connect a lot. The biggest crowd, sure, but it's like they weren't knowing it. However, St. Vincent came out on that guitar and she was playing, whether they were cheering or not. She was on that guitar like it was nobody's business. Thank you for
Well,
your
here's the other
contributions.
issue with that also is that when they get out there, they the crowd knows what's happened the previous nights. They know that there was a Diva Summit the night before. They know that Mary J. Blige boots the house down. When you then are in LA, you're expecting something good and you get Beck, you're not smiling.
But they had one thing to smile about because also on August 25th, she brought out John Legend.
I
And
wouldn't
they
have
do
smiled.
All of Me
Frown,
at the
frown,
piano
frown,
set.
frown.
Uh I would have gagged.
I hate
I
that
would have
song.
gagged.
I
I'm not even like a
loathe that song.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm not even like a John Legend fan or like I don't really think about him, but like he boots this performance like it's never been bootsed before. He got on that piano like that was his piano. Certainly one of the most talented people in music for sure. I feel like the the Chrissy Teigen of it all has kind of like soured me on like thinking about him because she annoys me so bad. But like I was watching the performance and I was like, hold on, Diva? I would have liked to have been there. I
I
thought
don't
it was
share this
amazing.
compulsion, and I thought she
It
looked
was during Wildest
ridiculous.
Dreams, so she was in the
She
full
looked ridiculous.
gown.
It's meant to be worn sitting down, to be fair. She's not supposed to stand up and walk around in it, but she looked absurd.
Then on August 26th in LA, guess who's there? Justin Timberlake comes out. He's wearing his fedora. And then they do Mirrors and
Iconic.
Taylor. And that's a good 1989 song too.
It
That's a good
is. It
1989 song
is.
too. Yep.
And also the Justin Timberlake lore of it all, like, for Swifties, we were pleased. We were pleased when that happened.
And then on the same night, August 26th in LA, she brings out Lisa Kudrow from Friends and they do Smelly Cat together. Some people cheered.
When this happened, I cheered because it was kind of in 2015, one of my personalities was Friends. That just happened to some people, okay? And I was one of those people. So when Smelly Cat came on, I was cheering.
And then now this is the coup of the night. August 26th in LA,
Oh my
Selena
god.
Gomez. She comes out, they're doing good for you. She looks amazing. This is
She's
one of her
wearing
best looks ever.
this is Black Swan and White Swan, as in Selena is literally wearing what Taylor's wearing basically, but make it in black satin. And she looks amazing. Her hair is giving in
Yeah.
ways that it hasn't given in a long time. Taylor is, and you know what? It's coy sexy, which Taylor is good at. Doing like real like sexy, I feel like she kind of gets a little lost or can look a little stiff, but this is like suggestive. It's like coy. It's a little slinky. And the way that they strut in unison, Taylor singing this song, it's not hard to sing.
It's not hard to sing. It's not hard to sing.
I think it's
It's
one of
not hard
Selena
to sing.
Gomez's best songs too. It's a
Oh, I
banger.
love Good For You, and it's evergreen. Again, this is one of those songs, it coulda come out yesterday, and I wouldn't know a thing.
We don't
Amazing, gorgeous,
have
show-stopping.
I don't understand why we don't have full, high quality visuals of Selena Gomez doing Good For You with Taylor or doing Hands to Myself. We got like 10 seconds of it. And Who Says on the Speak Now tour? Why am I watching potato footage of this?
It's
And
not
everybody goes
fair.
so psycho, you can't hear it properly.
It's a damn shame, especially the Speak Now tour guests, like, those are lost to the sands of time because
We'll
that was
never get that
before we
back.
had high quality cameras.
Taylor
That's
singing Who Says on the Speak Now tour is something that can be so personal.
But what I found so interesting about this Good For You performance is that, like, all of these songs she does the clean version of, but you're out there on that stage with Selena doing some dance moves that surely were shocking the audience, and that's okay, but we can't say the F word. I just
No,
found it very
no.
interesting.
Mhm.
I found it very, very interesting. It was kind of interesting to see the good, like, because in 1989, the good girl thing technically was starting to like crumble, but it was still like maintained by some weird things.
It was very fragile, actually, I think, like, of what Taylor would and wouldn't do, and even if you look at her revealing costumes on the 1989 tour, like, she doesn't really have her out, like, not the way she does at the Eras tour, and she always has that, like, flesh-colored, like, mesh thing under anything that, like, reveals her chest area. She was doing that on the Red tour and the 1989 tour, so there is, like, a chasteness to it that is still there and interesting.
It's very interesting. So Selena Gomez, one of the coups of the 1989 tour for sure. And then on August 29th in San Diego, this is the lore. Avril Lavigne comes out and they do Complicated.
Now, there's a story to this. There's a little bit of lore behind Avril and Taylor doing Complicated. So Taylor, as we know, was messy boots down the house queen on Tumblr all the time. She was liking stuff and going. She was getting literally getting on after getting off stage, liking stuff and leaving. She potentially accidentally liked a post that was talking about how it was comparing photos of Avril Lavigne's meet and greet to Taylor Swift's secret sessions. And Avril Lavigne's meet and greet, I mean, if you haven't seen these photos, they're iconic. She's social distancing from her fans. Okay. There's a lot of space in between. She does not look happy. And then Taylor's like all over them. So ostensibly, Taylor liked it to be like, yeah, I love my fans. Avril didn't take it that way. And Avril like is not a messy queen and she's also not a terminally online queen, but anything Taylor did at this period of time would become news. So the fact that she liked this, then a BuzzFeed listicle was written about it, then that went viral, and then Avril came out and said, "Who are you to tell me how to behave with my fans? I treat my fans the exact way I want to treat them and I love them." And I think that's really mean of you, Taylor. And literally a day later, Taylor calls her up. She does the most ridiculous introduction at like it was just so obvious her being like, "This is one of the greatest pop songs ever created by one of the most icon." I was like, "Yeah, you're right, but you're only doing this because you got caught on the smack cam. That's why. That's the reason why." And then to make it extra clear that there was no hard feelings, she posted a photo on Instagram and said, "Taylor hearts Avril."
That's how you squash a beef. And that's
You
how you
bring
squash a
Avril
beef.
Lavigne out and you do Complicated. And was it I remember I had just gone to college and I cried when I received this news that this
Well, we
happened.
have to cheer. We have to cheer.
It was
This was
deeply important to
iconery.
me. Again, no
Yeah.
good videos of it.
No good, not a single good video of it,
No,
but we cheered. We were living la
we
vida loca when
screamed.
this happened. We were
Mhm.
cheering, and then on the same night in San Diego, we get
Oh,
Omi doing cheerleader.
think that I found okay.
Okay,
That's not a song. That's not
no,
singing. What's
no,
Taylor doing?
no, mm-mm,
That goes
mm-mm.
into the trap queen bag. Like, no.
Yep, it does. So then, on September 9th in Houston, we get Wiz Khalifa. Now, this is
Diva.
iconic. This is absolutely iconic. They do See You Again. This is another one of the most beloved 1989 tour performances and special guests because she sounds and looks amazing. This was one of the videos that, like, when there was Tay negativity, after, like, Reputation kind of like going into Lover era, this is a video that was going around of people being like, "Wait, Taylor Swift can sing?"
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah, it's
yes!
auto-tuned. Who
Wiz Khalifa
cares?
knew. Wiz Khalifa has been knowing this whole time. He
He said
knows that
so.
Taylor
He
can
told me.
sing. And Wiz Khalifa was really happy to be there. You can see in the video him like looking around at the crowd, like, I cannot believe this
I
is
mean, there is
happening.
something awesome about it, like, on the other like, yes, of course, it's self-serving and it's Taylor doing promo machines, but it also is really cool, I'm sure, for artists that are probably never going to play, like, an arena or a stadium at some point to have that moment with their song. Like, yeah, they're a guest, but it's still their song.
And that's the way that Taylor was thinking about it. This was Taylor doing like her version of,
Charity.
not for Wiz Khalifa, for the record. I'm not saying this about Wiz
Mm-mm.
Khalifa, but I will say it for Omi. I will say it for Omi.
For Sam
It's
Hunt,
really like her version of charity. It's like,
charity work.
oh, come out and I'll play, touch, kiss
I'll
my
give you a
hand,
taste of
and
what it's
I'll
like to have people actually care about you.
yes, but not for Wiz Khalifa. I
No.
don't know where he was at in his career, but like he's a
He
very
didn't need to
famous
be put on,
six.
but he was
Yeah.
happy to be there.
Oh yes, and again, this performance is great, and I thought that this song was always good. I liked it.
And you know what? The energy of a Taylor Swift crowd is really specific too. Like someone like Wiz Khalifa is not going to get the Taylor Swift, the Swifties. It's a specific kind of crowd. The decibel levels are higher. The excitement is a lot more intense. It's something.
It was amazing. I love this performance. I think about it a lot. She looks
Boost.
great. Boost. Up next in September in Indianapolis on September 16th, the band Perry If I Die Young. This is just canon. This is just lore.
I
I
love
mean,
this
what do you want me
song.
to say?
I
This is
love
such a
this
good song.
song, and I
Yeah,
want Taylor to sing it every time.
it's so
She should
good.
actually do a Nashville-esque cover of this.
That would be delicious. Actually, the other
Mhm.
day I was at the pet store and they were playing that's that who did that song? Daddy Let Me Drive. You know, Taylor, she did that cover of it. Who was that? Randy Travis? Who is that? Do you remember?
No clue.
No, it was maybe it was George Strait. I can't
Is
remember,
it
but
Run?
no, no, Drive. The song Drive. When we went there together, just an old plywood boat, 75 Johnson, an electric choke.
Nope.
Anyway, I heard that original song in the pet store and I was like, "This sucks. I wanna listen to the Taylor
Literally,
version."
same with George Strait's version of Run. Sorry, yours sucks. Taylor's way better.
Taylor's is way better. So, yeah, the band Pray If I Die Young, I loved that song when I was in high
Thank you,
school, so
queens.
this was
Would have
pretty
gagged
cool.
for that. I would have gagged to get that.
September 18th in Columbus, guess who's back? I wish
Nobody
that I
asked.
could be
Be
like the
like
cool
the cool
kids, 'cause
kids.
all the cool kids. So, thank you so much for that
I'm looking at
again.
this next one and saying, "Who the hell is that?"
This is September
Uh,
21st in Kansas City. Dirks Bentley, Every
who the
Mile of
hell is
Memory.
that? Who
You'd
is
know him
that?
if you saw him. He has a dog. He used to bring his dog to the Country
He
Music
has a
Award shows.
dog.
He did. He used to bring his golden retriever to award shows. That's how I remember him.
Well,
Anyway,
all
you'd
right
know him if you
then.
saw him. You'd know him if you saw him. But yeah,
She
I
was in her
didn't.
country bag, I
This is
guess.
of no interest to me. September 25th in Nashville, Kelsey Ballerini, Love Me Like You Mean It.
I'm saying
Sure,
okay. I'm actually saying
sure.
okay. This song was actually pretty good.
Yeah, and it's Kelsey Ballerini. So
Mhm.
I kind of clapped. On the same night, Nashville, Steven Tyler, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Why?
I
In
will say that the
Nashville.
energy in that crowd was crazy. They were there to hear I Don't Want to
Steven
Miss a Thing.
Tyler is basically the living dead. So it's crazy to me whenever I see him doing anything. I'm like, congratulations, Grandpa. You're doing it. And he did it.
And it's like so clear to me that he's kind of crazy. And
Oh,
he
I met
looks
him
crazy on
once.
that 1989 stage.
He
And
has
again,
an
she's in the pleather
energy.
outfit looking like a fool.
He has like an I drank the fountain of youth energy. He looked me in the eyes and I was like, he just stole 10 years from me. He's
Have you
scary.
ever looked him in the eyes?
I interviewed him once and
Really?
he was in a different area. He was in a different area. I
Okay.
was on the red carpet. I don't know where he was, but we
Yeah.
talked.
Steven
And I have this
Tyler.
photo of him staring into the lens of my camera like this. And his hair is like huge. He looks like a Cats cast member from like the stage musical. So I have to send it to you. It's really funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. So yeah, Taylor does I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. The crowd cheered. The crowd
They
did
did.
cheer. They did. And then on September 26th in Nashville, Leona Lewis, Bleeding Love.
And I would have gotten up out of my chair and I would
I
have stomped
keep
my feet,
bleeding.
hands in the
Yeah,
air.
oh. This
Could
was such
Taylor
a
sing
classic
that?
song.
Good question.
And Taylor said this in the introduction too. She was like, "This is one of the most gorgeous girls in the
She
world."
was
And where
always
was
saying
the lie?
this, but
And
she was
where was the
always
lie?
it was always like, "This is the most, this is the best," like, about everyone.
Yep. And for Leona Lewis, gorgeous girl, we knew that.
Yeah,
We
it's
knew
sh
that.
was did she lie?
And then on the same night, September 26th in Nashville, Mick Jagger, and they do
Steven
Satisfaction. I
Tyler's
hated
Sleep
this.
Paralysis Demon, I
I hated
guess.
this.
I hate
And
that
she
song.
really thought that she was Joan Jett. This is when she thought.
This gives the Def Leppard special. This gives Pour Some Sugar on Me, and I don't want it.
No, mm-mm. No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I don't like the Rolling Stones. I don't care about Mick Jagger.
Me
Uh-oh.
either, or Steven
Oh,
Tyler.
I said it.
None of them.
So September 29th in St. Louis, Nelly! And they do Hot
Woo!
in Here featuring Haim.
She said, "I need someone to dance worse than me behind me." That
I
was
can't be on
she's
stage
she's
alone with Nelly. You
always
have
doing
to
egg on their
embarrass
face.
yourselves for me.
Be my ugly stepsisters. Be my bad
Yeah.
backup dancers. Mean.
No,
She's a
there
bully.
is something to that. There is something to that. They also do The Fix. I would have loved to have been there for this
This was a
memento.
really good one. This
This
was
is
a
a coup.
really, really
Would
good one.
love to have been there. Do you remember that performance she did with Nelly where she's in the two-piece and the little short, yeah, her little bob is all curled
Mhm.
up and she's got her little shoes on. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
I would have killed to have been there too.
It was kinda everything.
For a second, Nelly and Taylor would be FF. And I'm saying, when are we going to go back? So,
Run it
nonetheless,
back.
in October 2nd in Toronto, Canada, Keith Urban. And the name of this song
That's not
is
real.
John Cougar, John Deere, and John 316.
Is this like a
As
Jesus
I
song?
live and breathe, I have never in my life heard a stupider song in my life. I listened to it, I watched the
Is
performance,
it
and I was
religious?
like, yeah, John 3:16. He's like, "These are the Johns that matter to me. John
Oh
Cougar,
my god. You're
John
from
Deere, and John
Australia. You're
3:16."
Australian.
And we need to remind him of that.
Start singing about
And we
spiders and scorpions and
Yep.
koala bears. Shut up about John 3:16. Mm-mm. Enough from
You don't
you.
get to
I've
do
had
that.
enough of you, you beast.
And this
Sorry,
was
keep
I
going.
remember this is during the part of the tour where I was mentally checking out. I was like, "Now this is too many people."
Oh,
And I'm
it was
starting
getting
to
to be
not care.
ridiculous. It was
Yeah.
getting to be ridiculous.
All right. So then on October 3rd in Toronto, Canada, a diva, Charlie XCX comes and they do Boom Clap. I watched this because I was curious, obviously, that now there's all this lore with Charlie and Taylor. So when she introduces Charlie, she says that she's one of the most in demand artists at the moment. She says, "I'm about to bring out one of the greatest songwriters that we have going for us right now. She's unbelievably bold and she's about to perform her number one smash hit, Boom Clap. Welcome to the stage, Charlie XCX."
And
And she
Charlie came
comes
out.
out and she's in this like
I
cute
love her
little
fit.
two-piece. She looks
Really cute.
so cute.
Leopard with
It's
like orange
sparkly
fur.
and it
Very
has like
cute.
little furs on the cuffs. It's very cute. And because in most of these songs, Taylor does the second verse. The artist does the first verse and then Taylor does the second verse. And before Taylor starts singing, Charlie goes, "Taylor!" into the mic and it's so cute. I was like, what happened to this beautiful
And this
friendship?
song is so good too. I'm sorry, I know Charlie hates it, but like this
Well,
is a
she's wrong for
perfect
that.
pop song. It's a
One
perfect
day
pop
she's
song.
going to realize. One
And
day she's going to
she's
be
gonna
like, you know
stop
what?
bleep blooping it up. She's just gonna get the band out and she's gonna sing it.
They acted like they were BFFs on that stage. And it really seemed like Charlie had a really good time. What
All that
happened?
sympathy is just a knife.
I miss them.
It's a
That's
knife
not right.
when
It's a knife when she says you're the greatest songwriter in the world. It's a knife when
it's a knife when she invites you to the 1989 tour. It's a knife when she invites you to open for her concert.
Yeah. All right, October 17th in Arlington. Ellie Goulding, Love Me Like You Do.
Now, I also cheered for this when it happened.
Oh, me
I
too.
screamed and I cheered for that. I really wanted that badly. And that song, it slaps. That's a great song.
It does slap. Why are people lying and
Don't
saying that
lie.
it
The 50
doesn't? I
Shades of
don't
Grey
get it.
soundtrack bizarrely had so many coups.
All of them. It's the same thing as the Twilight soundtracks. All of them
Mhm.
were really good.
Twilight, I kind of get though. 50 Shades, I was like, why are we doing this? They had to have something.
They had to have something. You have to have something going for them. I feel like the songs, the soundtracks did more for them PR wise than anything else did for them PR wise.
For sure.
Seriously.
For sure.
And then on October 21st in Greensboro, Miranda Lambert. And they do Little Red Wagon. I don't know this song, but Miranda looks really, really cute. She's wearing a 1989 tank top and like, jeans tucked in. It's very cute. They look great together. I cheered. I've always had like a really big soft spot for Miranda Lambert, even though I don't listen to a lot of her music. I've just always really liked her.
Yeah, why not? I'm gonna say okay.
Why
Sure.
not?
Sure, Jan.
Sure. Well, period. And then October 24th. Now this is a coup
The
and a gag.
gag. The
Tovlo talking
gag.
body.
This song, oh my
Gag.
god. This song is
Gag.
so, so good, and Taylor knows it too. Taylor has an excellent ear.
She does. She has an excellent ear sometimes, except for when she's doing "She's my cheerleader."
Yeah, but then she has an okay ear. The ear took a day off, but today the ear was on.
So Tovlo looks and sounds amazing in this performance, and they do the clean version, which kind of ruins it a
Why?
little bit. Why? Come on.
That chorus, 24K gold.
However, just clean version or not, it slays hard.
Great.
It
I
slays
would have
from
killed
start
for
to finish.
this.
This is a great performance. So on October 27th in Miami, who do you think
My
would
birthday.
be in
My
Miami
birthday.
on your birthday, Mr. 305 Worldwide, Pitbull, and
Who
they do
else is
Give
it
Me
gonna
Everything.
be? And we needed that.
I
We
don't
needed
know
it.
why. This is another person that I just randomly have a soft spot for him. I think he's awesome. I like him a
I
lot.
love that girls dress up as him and go to his concerts. I really
It's
think that's
so
funny.
funny, and the fact that he loves it. Come on. He
He's
just
just
seems
a
like one of those
he's just a
guys.
guy. He's just a little baldy guy. I wanna go boop, boop, boop,
He's
boop, boop.
bald.
Just a little squeaky.
And he does look like a pit bull. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, this is so perfect. Everything about you is just like, exactly.
The
Exactly.
sunglasses. You're doing it, diva.
It's so fun. And then on the same night in Miami, Ricky Martin, living la vida
Why the hell
loca.
not? What a party.
Yes. No, this was a
Sexy
Miami
man.
summit.
It was a
This
coup.
was a Miami summit.
All she needed was Dade County Dreaming by
Yeah, that was
Camila
just
Cabello,
about to
and
say.
it would have been the coup of the century.
I
All the
was
Miami
just about
divas.
to say, oh yes, I'm sure that the Miami crowd, like, this was a really good night because these are two people that I would assume Miami is like, "Argh!"
And
So
they're
this
living
is,
legends too, both of
yeah,
them in their own right at that
both of
time.
them,
Come on now.
yeah. So this was a really good show to be at if you're a Miami local. I'll
Now
say that
put the
much.
idea of a living legend out of your mind when it comes to the next and final guests.
Now, these being the final guests of the 1989 tour on Halloween night, mind you, I remember this was the show to be at Tampa, Florida
Everyone was
on
going.
Halloween. We
Last
have
shows,
to be there.
last American
Guess who
shows.
she brings out? First off, Alessia Cara to do Here. To be fair, this was a
Here.
huge song at the time.
Whoa, here. Yeah. I mean,
To be fair,
college.
to be fair. But it's
It
not
was a good
exactly
song.
like she brought out Selena Gomez. I mean, I'm just calling a
No,
spade a spade. And
no.
then to add insult to injury,
This is so embarrassing. It was
Taylor
embarrassing
for
when it happened,
Halloween,
and it's still embarrassing
it's
now.
still embarrassing now. For Halloween, her Halloween costume that everybody was gagging to see, guess what she put on? An Olaf the Snowman costume from Frozen during style. Mind
That
you,
was the
during
crime. That
style.
was the crime, is that it wasn't just for the performance. She was like, "I'm gonna do a bit." The thing is that bit goes on for 5 minutes long.
And then she does, I please welcome to the stage from the number one worldwide hit movie Frozen,
Adele
Idina
Dazeem,
Menzel. And they do Let It Go with Taylor in the Olaf outfit.
another song she has no business singing.
When I tell you that this is one of this is when I was like, she's lost
Marked
to me. I
safe.
don't care.
We were
I don't
marked
care.
safe
Yeah,
from
no,
this.
literally mark safe. We don't say that anymore. We weren't saying that during 1989, but I'm going to say it now.
Mm-mm.
Mark safe from that.
Marked
I
safe.
would have given anything to have been at the Halloween show. And now I'm like,
Oh,
no, no thanks. I want to be in Miami. I
I'm
want to
good.
be in
Thank you.
Miami.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will happily go
Gimme
see
Mr.
Ricky
Worldwide.
Martin and Pitbull. Thank you
Gimme,
so
gimme, gimme.
much. So those were all the musical guests. And you know what? Hits and misses. There are
Mhm.
some real divas in that mix. There are some people that we wouldn't even talk about today. And there are some
50-50.
50-50. Now let's get into the random people that walked on stage and did the catwalk during style. So
Oh, I love this. I love
the
this so
first time
much.
that she did this was May 30th with Martha Hunt and Gigi Hadid. This, I think she hadn't conceptualized just having random people walk the catwalk. I think she was like, my model friends are here. Let's do, yeah, like you guys can
My
walk on the
stage
catwalk as
is
I'm
a
doing
catwalk
style.
because she did style at the Victoria's Secret fashion show. So it like there is a tie-in to her inviting her model friends on stage. Where the concept of please welcome to the stage falls apart is when we try to invite people into the model segment of the show who are not models, and it's not their fault.
And it happens on June 12th, just a mere 2 weeks later. Although, to be fair, Mariska Hargitay, we're going to say she's not kind of a model. Not on my watch.
Okay,
Not on
but
my
this
watch.
combination of people is deranged. Cara
And
Delevingne
Cara
and
Delevingne.
Mariska Hargitay. She was like,
Cara
"Hello,
Delevingne.
people. I would like to introduce you to each other for the first time. Now we're gonna go on stage." That was how it went.
This was during, well, I don't know, Taylor hasn't mentioned it in a long time, but this was during her big "I'm obsessed with Law and
She
Order"
and she was
phase.
banging that drum in every
Right.
interview at every
Mhm.
given opportunity. I love Law& and Order. My cat, we get it. We get
Yeah, we get
it.
it, Mariska Hargitay. So this made sense to me. Like, these
Bad
are her
Blood?
friends.
Bad Blood
Yeah,
music video, like,
right.
it was
This is
clicking.
all clicking. On June 27th, this is when she starts to lose it.
I was there.
Martha Hunt,
I was there.
Kendall Jenner,
Mhm,
Serena Williams,
mhm.
Carly Kloss, Gigi Hadid, and Cara Delevingne yet again.
And it took her like 7 minutes to introduce everyone. And then after they were introduced, they had to walk down that whole thing and then join her and awkwardly stand there with her while she announced the next person who had to awkwardly walk down really slowly. Like when you see it in person, it's absurd. It's so stupid. So she had them come out in twos. I think she had Martha Hunt and Kendall Jenner come out first, and I was like, whatever. Then she had Carly and Gigi come out, and I was like, that was the gag for me. And I have a video of Carly blowing me a kiss. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And
Goodbye.
then it was Serena Williams. And I was like, why? And to be fair, she boots that catwalk like nobody's business.
Well, of course she
Cara
did.
Delevingne
Of
was the one
course
who
she
looked like an
did.
idiot. She came out in like a bomber jacket holding a British flag. It was too much. And Serena Williams, to her credit, was like, why am I here?
Well, because it's all models and then Serena Williams.
Why?
It's like not that Serena, like, again, this is Serena Williams could be a
She
model.
boots the
That's not the
catwalk.
point.
She
The
boots the
point is
catwalk.
there's all these literal supermodels and then Serena Williams.
Do you
Why
think
not?
that Serena Williams and Martha Hunt exchanged any words? No.
No. But
Serena
honestly,
Williams
this
didn't
was
know who she
nothing,
was.
absolutely nothing compared to what happened on July 10th. So on July 10th, Lena Dunham, Haley Steinfeld, Lily Aldridge, Gigi Hadid, and the kicker is they were in their Bad Blood costumes.
This was literally bullying for Lena Dunham. She bullied Lena Dunham on stage. That was
And
a
I think we
mean
should open the
thing
case.
that she did. And Lena Dunham came out and said, she herself was like, "Hey, I actually felt like up there. I actually hated every second of that." And then everyone was getting mad at her and saying she was a bad friend. And I was like, "No, I get it. I too would feel like absolute if you put me in a black tank top and pleather jeggings next to
It's not right.
Lily Aldridge and Gigi Hadid. That's
No, I don't wanna
wrong."
do that. I don't wanna do that.
She should have
I'm not
just
doing
brought
that.
Lena Dunham out on her own. If she really wanted to bring Lena out, it should have been like, "This is my girl boss. I'm bringing her out because girl
And I
power."
also think it puts Lena in a situation where it's like, let's just say Taylor didn't think of it that way, which is kind of like this "I'm the skinny hot girl" mentality, like, I don't see the issue." But even if
Everyone
Lena
loves
was like,
everyone.
yeah, even if Lena was like, "I'm not really comfortable doing this," like, it would have made everything worse, so, like, she couldn't do anything. She
She
was
just
invited,
had
it would have looked if she said no, so she said, "Okay, I guess I'm
that would be
doing
my villain
this."
origin story.
Yeah, no, I would turn into the Joker. And then
Mhm.
on the same night, she brings out Heidi Klum and the US women's soccer team. Why
2
not?
very accomplished athletes.
Two very accomplished athletes. On July 11th, now this is
This
when we
isn't
started
real.
to lose it.
This isn't real.
Candace Swainpole, Lily Aldridge, Martha Hunt,
Martha
Uzo
Hunt
Adoba,
kept coming out.
Carly Kloss, Behati Prinsloo, and Gigi Hadid.
Who is Behati Prinsloo?
I don't know.
Who are these
I
people?
don't know. This this is when we started to lose it. Please
Mhm.
welcome to the stage. It's like, what?
And everyone's like,
Who?
"What?
And then
Okay."
on July 18th, Soraya.
Again, no one asked
Just
and no
her.
one knew. No one knew who that
Just
was.
her. So then on July 19th, we get Andreja Pajic and Lily Donaldson. This was another model moment. I didn't know this. Andreja is actually trans.
Yeah.
And she had just come out as trans too.
Mhm.
Taylor was saying protect
She's
the
a
dolls.
diva. Queen!
She was protect the dolls
And you
before
say
anybody
she's
was
not a
saying protect the
feminist.
dolls. And they said she's a fake feminist. Not on my watch. Not
Mm-mm.
on my watch. On August 8th, Russell Wilson and Ciara. What bothers me is that she brought Ciara out and didn't do a
Yeah,
Ciara
you're
song.
wrong. You're so wrong for that. You
You're
couldn't do a
wrong.
1-2 step. You couldn't do a goodies.
Come on. Come
Are
on.
you sick in the head? You
She
can
just
get
had them
Nelly
walk the
out there,
catwalk.
but you
Yeah.
can't get Sierra?
It didn't make any sense to me.
It was
Didn't
wrong.
make any sense to me. And then on August 15th, Julia Roberts and Joan Baez.
What the hell? What the and you
And
can
again,
tell
Julia
that
Roberts in her
when you see
V-neck.
them, you can tell that neither of them were planning on
Mm-mm.
going on stage that night. You know they weren't. They were
No.
asked mere moments before the show started.
On August 21st, this was in LA. This is Kobe Bryant. He had a reason for being there because he was presenting Taylor with a flag, one of those flags, which now, of course, they've removed because it was bad luck. I think they put them back, though. After he passed away, they might have put them back. I can't remember now. But anyway, he had a reason to be there.
Mhm.
So Kobe Bryant, RIP, legend, etc., etc. And then on August 22nd, this is when we lost
Greatest
it
night of my life.
officially. Matt LeBlanc from Friends, Chris Rock, and Sean O'Pry from the Blank Space video.
Now,
Great.
Sean being there was one of the most iconic
Well,
things that
she
has
was ready
ever
to risk it
happened.
all.
She
She
was
was
ready
ready
to
to risk it
risk
all.
it all, and he's hot. Like, I get it. I get why she was ready to risk it all. We know she wasn't feeling too good about Calvin. She was looking for a way out. And Sean, she almost forgot in that moment that she was on stage. She was literally about to have an interlude. You need to watch the video if you haven't seen it. It's like you feel the tension, you feel the chemistry. And
Mhm.
then Matt LeBlanc and Chris Rock come out and we have contraception on stage.
Yep, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna walk in real time," and they
Meow.
did.
They
We
did successfully. And it's like,
successfully.
it's so they're not friends with Taylor. They're not in the Taylor. They're not particularly hot. So it's like, what are you doing here? Matt LeBlanc really looked adrift.
He did. He had no reason to be there. It's one of those things where
He
it's
was
like
like,
when it's
what?
introduced to you, you're like, "Yeah, I'll do it," and then you get out there and you're like, "What am I doing?
Well,
What is
because
this?"
there's nothing to do. That's the thing. It's walk down the stage and pose. And that's difficult to do next to Taylor Swift.
Well, it's difficult to do when you're Matt LeBlanc and Chris Rock.
These aren't supermodels.
No, not even close. Not
They're
even
funny
close.
guys.
And then the last random person who walked that catwalk. I wonder if she stopped doing it so early in the tour because because she got roasted for it. But anyway, August 24th, Ellen DeGeneres, and that is the last one.
Well, you know what? Actually, it's less people than I remembered. It's more so the combinations of people that are really galling. It's the combos, it's the amount of people at the same time. It's not really about the total number of guests because there aren't that many.
No, and I think she was only doing this ridiculosity. I mean, there are some like I don't know what Soraya was doing on July 18th, but it's like Russell Wilson and Ciara that happened on August 8th because they live there. But then there's like all these other ones are like New York City, LA, all these places. Like it makes sense in the sense that in the
As much sense
sense
as
that
it can make, it
yeah.
makes sense.
Yep. So there you go.
Well, that was our
That was
journey through
And
that.
that's a different Taylor. And that's a different
We
Taylor. I
don't
don't know
know
how to
her.
describe it to you. You either were there or you weren't, and you get it or you don't.
We
That's
wish her
not we don't
luck.
know her.
We wish her
Yep.
luck.
She's on a journey.
That was all you wanted.
Oh
Matt
my god,
LeBlanc
that
on the
was all you
1989
wanted.
tour. That was
Oh
all
my
you
god, that
wanted.
was all you wanted.
I
Shouldn't
think that's a
I
very
call someone?
I mean, she had everyone's number. She had
Yeah, she
everyone's
did.
number.
She did. All these
Well, I
numbers
think
and no
that
one to call.
that is a great place to leave it. We will see you on tour, divas, on our very own 1989 tour. You don't know who we're gonna bring out.